Good evening. I am going to wait until a few people jump on and we'll do our first discussion of the book Jump. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting, when you do jump on, let me know what your wins have been so far for 2019. Where have you jumped, or where have you even taken small steps to help get you toward your goal? So I would like to know that. This is a group where we're going to support each other and just be here for each other. And while I'm waiting for the replay, I'll go back. I'll just tell you that I started having some severe leg cramps probably about an hour or so ago. And the first thought that came to me was, you can't do the live because you're having pain. The second thought that came to me was, absolutely not. I am not going to cancel this live. I am going to pray through this pain that I'm having and just continue to jump. Because like I've said before, doing live videos is one of the things that does push me out of my comfort zone. So it is something to help me jump and help me get past where I am right now as far as doing lives. So this book has helped me, and I'm hoping that it helps you as well, because a lot of us have intentions and things that we want to do, but we allow certain things to get in the way to keep us from actually doing them. So, and I put some topics up in the part right before I started in the description. So we're going to go through those on tonight. So for opening, so I have my notes on my phone. Okay. So for opening, God can take the scraps of your life and turn them into your engine of determination to succeed and help you soar higher than you have ever been before. You don't have to be perfect. And that was one thing that I was always hesitant about with doing videos and before jumping out and coaching, was because I thought everything had to be perfect. In doing videos, I thought that my scenery had to be perfect. I thought that the background needed to be great. And, you know, I realized, and I watch other people's videos so that I can learn and grow. And it's not about the scenery. It's about the message that we need to share with others. So, and then it says that God can take the scraps of your life, turn them into your engine of determination to succeed. And with that, you know, God can take the small things or the things that we see as small and turn them into something that is influential and impactful for other people. So I want to encourage you that anytime that you think that something you're doing is insignificant, I want to encourage you and let you know that it is significant. Somebody needs you. And we discussed that earlier. Hi, Deborah. Thank you for joining. So we discussed that earlier too, is that somebody needs you. Whatever talent, skill, ability that you have, people need you. And if you think you're not making an impact or you're not being influential, just know that someone is receiving, that someone is growing as a result of what it is that you are allowing God to do through you. Because I'll tell you, sometimes when I'm ready to give up because I don't think I have the support that I need or what have you, I always wind up going to Facebook or social media and someone has posted something saying, thank you for encouraging me to love myself to life. So with that, even if you get that one person that you are being an impact for, they need you. God can take those small things or those things that we see as small, and he can make them something great. All right, so the first point that we have up there is God's plan versus your fears. And in the book, Steve talks about, I am always open to God's plan for me. Jeremiah 29:11 tells us, for I know the plans that he has for me, plans to prosper me, not to harm me, plans to give me hope and the future. So are we going to allow our fears to overtake us to not go toward God's plan and his purpose for us? I'm always ready to jump to the next level because my life has taught me that God's plan for me will always be greater than I can imagine. That's the beauty of jumping. God's plan is greater than anything that we could ever imagine. He wants us to be obedient in the small things, and he's going to bring the more significant things to us. When we're not obedient to just the small things that he's telling us to do, why is it that we're expecting him to give us something great? Why is it that we're expecting him to give us something huge? We have to be obedient in the small things that he has instructed for us to do. And then the beauty of jumping too is when we jump according to his will, we know he's got us, right? God has us whenever we jump according to his will. We don't have to be extra, but we do have to be in line with his will. And he's going to start pouring out blessings and giving us guidance and giving us clarity on where it is that he wants us to go and what it is that he wants us to do. So make sure that you are in a place to hear from him, and you're not allowing your fears to overrule God's plan for your life. And, you know, fear is one of the things that holds us back. It does. Fear holds us back. Fear keeps us from doing things. Fear keeps us from succeeding. Fear keeps us from applying for jobs that we think we're not qualified for. But here's the thing. God does the calling, and he qualifies those that he called. So even when you don't think you have what it takes to be successful in that position, trust God. He will qualify you more than man could ever qualify you. So trust him. Point number 2, failure isn't final. You know, for me, failure is growth. Failure is learning. Failure is figuring out how to do it better the next time, right? And then here's the thing. If you're waiting on a perfect moment is not going to come for you to jump. It's just not going to happen. A perfect moment is not going to come in order for you to jump. Because here's the thing. Even if you lay everything out the way that you think it should be laid out, something inevitably is going to go wrong in your perfect plan. When it does go wrong, don't quit, don't give up, don't throw in the towel and say, I'm done. Don't do that. God has a perfect plan for us, but it's going to have roadblocks, it's going to have stops, we're going to stumble, we're going to fall, we're going to get roughed up, we're going to get bruised. But we know he's got us, right? He's got us. Even if you fail, you can still end up with opportunities or skills or connections that you wouldn't possess if you hadn't tried. I want to read that one again. Even if you fail, you can still end up with opportunities or skills or connections that you wouldn't possess if you hadn't tried. When you try, when you jump, when you take that leap off of that cliff, instead of standing there teeter-tottering, just looking over the edge, when you jump, you're going to develop and grow in areas and in ways that you did not know that you could. You're going to make connections with people that you didn't know even existed. People are going to support you. They're going to be there for you. So you have to just trust God. And failure is a wonderful teacher. And when you make mistakes and you recover from them and you treat them as valuable learning experiences, that's when you grow and gain something meaningful to share. So as you're gaining valuable experiences in your process of preparing to leap, be okay with gaining valuable experiences when things don't go exactly the way you want. Maybe you missed something in your preparation or your planning. Maybe you were fearful to contact someone who could have been a great resource for you for whatever reason. You know, when you contact them, you're either going to get two answers, yes or no, when it comes to them agreeing to help you or agreeing to give you insight or agreeing to give you guidance or something to help you in your purpose and your plan. If that person says no, go to the next person. Every successful person has had a no told to them at one point in time. But did they give up? No. If they had given up, we wouldn't be reading junk. And that's just truthful, because he goes over moments and times when doors were closed in his face. But he didn't give up. Had he given up, we would not have these words of encouragement from him. Point number 3. My dad used to say this all the time. So when I read this in the book, it obviously just came straight to me. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. And why do I have that going behind failure is not final? Because when you fail, don't throw in the towel. That's not what tough people do. That's not what God's children do. We don't throw in the towel. We keep going. We learn and we regroup. We wash, rinse, repeat. May need to change something here and there in order to take that leap, that jump again. But we don't give up. Tough times don't last. The trial that you're going through right now, the issue that you're going through right now, it's not going to last. But guess what? You're tough. You're God's tough daughter, and you will last. You'll outlast this issue. Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare give in. You will outlast whatever situation that it is that you're going through right now. Detours. How many of us have had detours in our life? Personal, professional, all around, right? We all have detours. The road to success is always under construction. We plan to go one way, God shifts us another way. We know the plans that we want to make. God knows the plans that we are to follow. The road to success is always under construction. There will be detours, roadblocks, bumps, dead ends. But when life takes you off course, open your eyes to the opportunities of the new road ahead of you. Try not to be so focused on only one path or one goal. It's normal to be frustrated or disappointed when you face adversity. God tells us that you're going to face trials, you're going to face tribulations. But we are to have joy, we are to still have praise and worship in our heart, even when we're going through trials, even when we're going through tribulations. We are not to quit, okay? We're going to have roadblocks. We have to figure out, okay, God, you had me going this way, or sometimes we had ourselves going that way, right? And now there's a detour, there's a block, there's a bump in the road, there's a hurdle I need to cross. How do I get around this to get to where you want me to be? And one thing I've learned is that God will always provide what it is that you need. And many times he'll provide over an abundance in what it is that you need. Try not to be so focused. It's normal to be frustrated or disappointed when you have facing adversity, but you never know if not taking the road has led you away from making a huge mistake or off the wrong path. God puts those detours in your way so that you can get to the road that you were supposed to be on. I'll give you an example. Somebody was telling me the other day that they heard from God. God told them to go one way. And instead of them going the way that God told them to go, they decided to go a whole different way. And before they took off down the road, the wrong way that they were supposed to go, and I say road, but this path in life or this decision that they were making, before they even did it, God reminded them, this is not where I told you to go. This is not the direction that I told you to take. This is not what I told you to do. But the person in their own insight, in their own ability, did it the way that they wanted to do. And the results were not good. And immediately the person told me, I repented and I asked God for his forgiveness, because he told me right before I was getting ready to go that way, he told me, that is not what I told you to do. But this person trusted their own instinct over the Father's voice. So we have to be careful not to trust our own instinct over his voice, over his direction that he's telling us to do. Point number 5, point number 5, critics come, critics go. I also want to name this, people are going to watch you just to see what you're doing, but do not get discouraged if they never like your post, they never like your video, if they never watch. You will have people watchers for the rest of your life. Whether you're doing good, whether you're doing bad, you're going to have people watchers. They will not support you, but they're going to watch everything that you're doing. It's true. Critics come and critics go. Every moment you spend addressing a critic is a valuable moment that you take away from your dream. You're going to have critics, but you cannot address everything that they say. You can't try to fix every word that comes out of a critic's mouth. You can't even fix one word that comes out of a critic's mouth. What you can do is to continue to be you, continue to trust God, continue to trust what he's telling you to do, stay focused, and stay on your path. Stay on your path. Critics are going to tell you what you're getting ready to do is not going to work. How can anyone on this earth tell you that what you're getting ready to do is not going to work when you're doing what God has told you to do? When you are doing what God has purposed in your heart for you. And here's the thing about that. What God purposed in your heart for you to do is for you. It's not for the people around you to do. He gave it to you to do. Critics come and critics go. You're going to have people watchers for the rest of your life. Just know that you will. And it's how you deal with it that's going to, that can detour you off of your plan. Listening to your critics will cause you to have increased fear. Listening to your critics will not allow you to have forward movement. Listening to your critics will increase your anxiety so much so that you have an increased risk of not succeeding. Critics come, critics go. Don't give them your attention, your time, and get involved in what they're saying you can't do. All right, and our closing thought for tonight, God's gift. We're all God's gift. We're all God's children. He put us here. He designed us. He orchestrated us. He knew that we will be where we are right now at this point in our life. Your life is a precious gift that is available for a limited time only. We're not promised tomorrow. We're not. Life can change in an instant. Our worlds can change in an instant. We're not promised tomorrow. So I'm going to ask you, what impact are you making today to prepare for your legacy, to prepare to be influential for others, to prepare to leave an impact or have an impact? Tomorrow's not promised. So if you're waiting until tomorrow for to begin in your purpose, if you're waiting for the situation to be perfect, then you will be waiting. Okay, so don't wait. Don't wait. At some point, you're going to have to choose to stop living your life in fear and get out on that cliff and step off in faith. Only then will you ever be able to soar. You can't soar standing on the cliff. You can't. You cannot soar just standing there on the cliff. You have to jump. And Steve Harvey has another video, and I'm pretty sure many of you have seen it, if not all of you, where he talks about jump. He said, if you don't jump, your parachute will never open. And then when you do jump, your parachute may not open right away. And then you may get some bumps and bruises along the way, right? Because anytime we jump, we're going to run into something. Something's going to happen that's going to give us more growth muscles, that's going to give us more strength muscles. So make sure, consider everything that you're doing. Is it aligned with your purpose? Is it making you happy? That's another conversation for later. So think about it. We are here to jump. We are here to make positive moves to love ourselves to life, because that's what we're going to do. We only get one life. We only have a limited time in this life. So we're not going to live that life standing on the edge, waiting on someone else to push us, to motivate us off that cliff. We can have the perfect plan or a plan, because no plan is perfect, right? I just said that. We can have a plan all laid out in our computer, on our smartphone, on paper. But if we never take any action or forward movement with that plan, guess what? It's just sitting there. It's just sitting there. Okay? You have a dream, you have an action, you need to take action toward it. Faith without works is dead. We can have a plan, but if we don't work that plan, actively work that plan, we're not doing anything. Okay? So I hope y'all have a great week, and you can listen to this on the replay. And that was my convo for this week. So let me see if I can get on through my phone, because sometimes on my my computer, I can't really tell what's happening on there. So you all have a great night, and I will talk to you later. I look forward to your comments.